apex predator
is on the hunt.
Oh my Lord! This is gonna be one hell of a fight. Here we go!
WWE SummerSlam, Sunday, August 21st at the Barclays Center.
I mean, it feels great to be back. I wanted to be back because I wanted to be back in the octagon again.
Can I take the best that he's got? I think so. I think the question is, can he take what I got?
He can say what he wants because tonight's a bad night for Mark Hunt, a good night for Brock Lesnar.
This is going to be one of the biggest fights of my career because, you know, the whole world is going to be watching this. What the world is going to see is me knocking Brock out.
I'm not afraid of Mark Hunt. I'm not afraid of getting hit by Mark Hunt. You know, I headlined UFC 100, and now here I am at 200, and it's big.
Tonight is the night! UFC 100, 2 days shy of 7 years ago, Brock Lesnar defended his heavyweight championship. Tonight, he returns to the octagon for the first time in 4.5 years to take on the Super Samoan, Mark Hunt, coming up back-to-back first-round knockouts. So up next, Brock Lesnar and Mark Hunt. Still to come, our main event, Miesha Tate and Amanda Nunes for the belt. But first, here's a special message from UFC Hall of Famer Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
Before you watch the return of former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar as he battles veteran knockout artist Mark Hunt, check out this clip of former WWE World Heavyweight Champion welcoming us to Suplex City as a cover athlete for WWE 2K17.
You are cordially invited to the most dangerous place on earth, courtesy of the Nightmare of Suplex City. So be like The Undertaker, be like John Cena, like Seth Rollins, be like Goldberg. Find out what it's like to be victimized in Suplex City.
Product not yet rated.
That fight coming up next. And August 20th, UFC 202 is fast approaching, and the anticipation continues to build. On Thursday, the UFC 202 press conference kicked off the conversation for the rematch fans are waiting to see. And the stare down between Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz showed no love is lost between these two men, and that this rivalry is real. And right now, Joe Rogan is standing with one half of the main event, Nate Diaz.
All right, I'm here with Nate Diaz. Nate, you were supposed to be here. You're supposed to be fighting Conor here at UFC 200. It didn't work out. Give us your thoughts on that and what it feels to be here for this show.
They pulled me out of camp. I was supposed to be here, but we're out of camp now. Watching UFC 200, it's all good either way. We're doing August 20th and 202, so that's what's happening.
Now, August 20th for UFC 202, you are going to have a full camp. You beat Conor McGregor last time with 11 days notice. What are your thoughts on the difference between being able to compete with him on a full camp?
It's always better to prepare for a fight and somebody than not, so we're going to have to see what happens. Like I said, August 20th, I'm going to get ready to fight this little guy who's going to try to come out here and take me out. So I'm going out there, same thing, kill or be killed, just like the last time.
Now, one of the big weapons in Conor's arsenal has always been trash talking. That trash talking doesn't really work that well after you just strangled him. What has that been like, and what has the difference been like in having these press conferences with him now after you've beaten him?
Yeah, there's not much to say anymore, you know, like the fight happened and what happened, and I hear him at the press conference after. I couldn't hear at the time, but I watched it, and he's taking his little pokes and little jabs and his shit to say. But there ain't nothing to say, you know, like, and the reality of it, in times of war, like, he ain't even alive. I own all this shit, and like now this conversation wouldn't even be happening, the reality of it. So it's whatever. He can say what he wants. There's not shit to say. We're gonna go to fight. We're gonna go to war again. My boy Chris Avila, he's fighting his partner too. Now I got the team versus team. We're going straight, getting ready for war. So that's what it's about, and that's what's gonna happen. Kill or be killed, and that's what we're coming for.
I can't wait to see it. Good luck to you, sir. UFC 202, the rematch. Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz.
Season 5 Ultimate Fighter. That kid is a battler, a great competitor. It is 6 weeks away. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. Rumble and Glover Teixeira, Maya Condit, Story, and Cerrone. Tickets go on sale this Friday, July 15th. Head over to UFC.com for more information. All right, the time has come. Mark Hunt, 2001 K1 World Grand Prix champion, fighting the real Brock Lesnar, who is back to cement his true legacy.
How long have I been thinking about coming back to the UFC? Ever since the day I stepped out of the octagon when I retired the first time. I was the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. Due to my illness, my career got cut short. At the top of my career, I wasn't at the top of my game. In my mind and in my heart, I never lost to a foe. I lost to the diverticulitis. I felt like I was cheated out of my career in the UFC. That chapter of my life, I didn't like the way the chapter ended, and I kept slipping back instead of moving forward. I couldn't live with that decision. I picked up the phone, I called Dana White and said, listen, if there was any time for Brock Lesnar to come back, it would just make sense that it would be for UFC 200.
Brock Lesnar is back. Size, strength, speed, power.
Brock Lesnar is a legitimate freak athlete. This is a guy who stopped Randy Couture for the title in his 4th pro fight.
Heavyweight title on the line. Couture is down. Lesnar is trying to finish. And it's all over.
I feel like Brock Lesnar has a second lease on life as an MMA fighter. And I want to see what this freak athlete is really capable of. And I think Mark Hunt is the absolutely perfect welcome back party for Brock Lesnar.
I understand that to become the elite of the elites, you've got to take chances on this. So July 9th, I'm knocking Brock Lesnar's face off.
Mark Hunt is one of the greatest strikers to ever compete in the heavyweight division. Mark Hunt is a top 10 heavyweight contender, a guy who has beaten some of the best fighters in the world, and a guy who has absolutely legitimate one-punch knockout power.
The profile of this fighter is huge. This is going to be a fight. You know, the better person will stand up victorious. Tune in to see Brock, but you'll be saying my name after the fight.
He's going to try to knock me out. I'm going to try to take him down. It's fighting, people. I don't have to sit here and build this fight.
I'm still the toughest SOB around, baby. Woo! Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
The Super Samoan, Mark Hunt, the second oldest active fighter on the UFC roster. Dan Henderson, 45, Mark Hunt, 42 years strong. Coming off a performance of the night against Frank Mir. 3 minutes, 1 second, that's all it took. Knockout, first round. 3 minutes, 41 seconds. Knockout, first round in Melbourne, Australia against Bigfoot.
Yeah, 2 first-round knockouts in a row. And Mark Hunt, also in those fights, was in excellent shape. And, you know, he kind of rededicated himself after the Stipe Miocic loss. Just didn't feel like he was in the kind of condition they need to be. Did some work down at AKA Thailand. in preparation. And when you talk about heavyweight strikers, this is one of the first guys that you mentioned. Former K1 Grand Prix champion, legitimate one-punch knockout artist with very good takedown defense, and that makes for a very interesting opponent for Brock Lesnar's return.
Mark Hunt stepping into our Bud Light prep point. Bud Light, raise one to right now. Born in New Zealand, he has lived in Sydney, Australia for many, many years. The bright lights never bother Mark Hunt. He won his Grand Prix title in K1 in front of 65,000 fans. Tonight, 19,000 in attendance, sold out. T-Mobile Arena, this state-of-the-art facility in Las Vegas. The Super Samoan, Mark Hunt. That man is the ultimate alpha male. And if you're wondering about the Canadian flag, he has built himself, Joe, a virtual compound in the province of Saskatchewan. And he comes in looking in the best shape of his life. The 15th UFC heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar.
That's what you think of when you think of a UFC heavyweight champion. You think they would look like that. But nobody looks like that. That's the craziest thing about Brock. I'm very, very curious about his performance tonight. Very interested to see this. Physically, he looks outstanding. I know he went through a great training camp for this. I know this is something he's been preparing for quietly for a long time. He looks calm and in place tonight.
5 times Brock Lesnar fought in the main event of the evening. Defended his heavyweight title on 2 occasions, but the last time we saw Brock was at UFC 141. 4 years, 6 months, 9 days ago. Brock is back. Our tail of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. 38-year-old Brock Lesnar, 42-year-old Mark Hunt. Brock is much bigger, 6'3" to 5'10", and a 9-inch reach advantage. Brock, Mark, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 12 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 264.5 pounds. Fighting out of Sydney, Australia, presenting the number 8 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Mark Super Samoan Hunt! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a professional record, 5 wins, 3 losses. He stands 63 inches tall, weighing in at 265 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, presenting the former UFC heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata, our referee. The number of combined pounds in the octagon for Lesnar versus Hunt, 530, and that does not count Dan Mergliata.
Yeah, Big Dan's no lightweight himself.
Not at all.
And you're going to need someone that big to get these guys off of each other.
Lesnar Hunt, here we go. Fight Club, brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. Mark Hunt said, Joe, if he can't get me down in the first round, he's getting knocked out. Brock showing southpaw for a moment.
Brock staying on the outside, staying cautious.
Custom gloves for Brock, XXL.
He's looking for that opportunity for the takedown. Got to look out for the knees. Got to look out for that counter uppercut.
And Hunt kind of scooching down a little bit, Joe, anticipating a possible takedown, a possible shot from the national champion from the University of Minnesota. 106-5 in his collegiate wrestling career.
So far, very cautious approach by both men. Look at that, leg kick by Brock.
And justifiably so, Joe. Somebody's getting knocked out.
Well, one thing about Brock throwing leg kicks is he doesn't have to worry about being taken down.
Yeah.
Or not as much. Whoa, swing and a miss.
If you listen to the many interviews that Brock did in the last couple of weeks coming up to this event, you know, he really did tell not just like a competition story, more of a life story and why he returned. And I love listening to him talk about the legacy that he wants to leave inside the octagon.
This is a dangerous game he's playing.
Yeah.
Because he's playing the timing game with Mark. And the more time goes on, here's a single. He's got the leg.
Chasing him down.
He got a hold of him.
Mark Hunt holding the fence. Great job by Dan Mergliata.
Brock's got a hold of those legs.
You see how quickly he went across the octagon. This is how he finished Frank Mir. Hunt's starting to get up though.
But if Brock can just control you, the amount of power that he can generate in short distances. Good takedown defense so far though.
This is Brock's world.
But again, Mark Hunt has very good takedown defense, and if he can slow Brock down, keep this kind of fight going on, and also we have to factor in the amount of adrenaline dump that Brock is going to be experiencing. Hasn't fought in 5 years. It's a big event for him. Mark Hunt's been very, very active.
And he's always calm, Joe.
He's lifting him up, and he's got him down. On top of him, inside control.
With a lot of time. Bad spot for Mark Hunt.
Terrible.
That is one big dude.
And he has submission skills.
Arm triangle choke against Shane Carwin back at UFC 116. You want to talk about carrying your opponent's weight. This redefines that expression.
It does, and Brock is just outstanding at riding guys too and being able to make them carry his weight. Very difficult to shake him off once he's on top of you. But all Hunt has to do here is survive the next minute,
which is a very difficult task with those mailbox-sized hands coming at your head. The knee.
Good knee to the body by Lesnar.
Brock looking for it again.
Hard shots by Lesnar.
And from the other side, Hunt's in big trouble.
He's a
Brock
big boss.
looking for the finish right here.
And Hunt scrambles back up to his feet.
And he's up. And Lesnar looks for another takedown immediately. And he gets it.
He gets it. Right into full mount.
20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Brock's world.
Mark Hunt's got to hang on here. The round's almost over. Big round for Brock Lesnar. Here we see a big takedown for Brock Lesnar. Here's some nasty ground and pound that forced a scramble out of Mark Hunt. He was eating some bombs here.
All right, you're keeping them guessing. So I want you to look like you're gonna fake the shot and then jab, all right? Fake the shot and jab. Just move like you're moving. Force him to come to you, hit the leg again, all right?
The best from the
You're
state of
doing well.
Minnesota.
Move exactly like you're moving, all right?
Yeah, you're just riding when you're wrestling.
Yeah.
Put your turkey in, ankle right.
Breathe, good breath. This is all you now. Just like that, this next round, all right? He's gonna try to come out with something big. Be ready, okay? Be ready for something big.
Beware of the knee. If Brock looks for that shot again, Joe, looks for the double, look for a knee, a well-timed knee potentially from Hunt.
Mark Hunt is going to look to launch a bomb on Brock Lesnar here, especially if he can somehow or another coax Brock into standing still.
And it might be that big overhand right.
Or the uppercut, or anything, depending upon how he feels. Brock has looked to launch a bomb on Brock Lesnar here, especially if he can somehow or another coax Brock into standing still.
And it might be that big overhand right.
Or the uppercut, or anything, depending upon how he feels Brock is moving.
Lesnar trying to use that jab to keep distance, and there's the overhand right, and Brock had it. Saw it coming, had it blocked. (15-1), significant strikes.
Off your fingers.
I'm going to talk about global icons, Brock Lesnar.
Well, what's interesting is Brock Lesnar doesn't need the money, he doesn't need the fame. I mean, he's doing this to test himself. He's doing this because he doesn't feel like he gave it his all during his first tenure.
And Joe, it was because he got sick.
Yes, exactly. So he feels like he was cheated.
Yeah.
He feels like something was taken away from him, and he never realized his full potential.
There was no quit in him. His health quit on him for a while. Lost 40 pounds at one point with the diverticulitis.
He's got to be real careful as he's moving back. He's moving back slowly, and Mark Hunt can time it. If he senses that Brock is slowing down.
Nice sprawl.
Very nice. And this is where it gets good for Mark Hunt. If he senses that Brock is slowing down or that he's not moving away quick enough, he's being lazy about his exits, Hunt can explode and catch him. And if Brock can't get Hunt down and Hunt starts getting comfortable with these exchanges, then things can get really ugly.
Well, we're at the midway point of the fight. Hunt has been on his feet this entire round, but he hasn't really landed anything.
But he certainly is threatening.
Yes. Lesnar began training MMA at age 28.
Ducked under, he got the single, but Hunt got right out of it.
Lesnar, only the second fighter in UFC history to win a title in his fourth professional fight. The other, the Hall of Famer Randy Couture, who Brock beat at UFC 91.
See, this is just not the game that Brock Lesnar wants to play. He does not want to play the be on the outside game, especially like right there. Looked a little tired, looked a little flat-footed, taking some big deep breaths, feeling fatigue, and Hunt is calm and relaxed and moving forward. Hits him with a small left hook to the body.
That win at UFC 91 was the night that Lesnar became the UFC heavyweight champion. This is great for recovery for Mark Hunt. That's one thing for certain. And he got up pretty quick after the end of round one, after carrying Brock for most of that first 5 minutes.
Brock is extending his hand. It's not a punch. He's like palming him on the forehead. It might have hurt his hand. I mean, the way he's doing that.
Yeah.
He just threw a jab there.
With those big hammer punches and the hammer fists on the ground and pound, Joe.
He ducked under that. He's looking for the single here. Brock hanging on here. Very uneventful round. So really anything here big in the last 20 seconds could win this round conceivably.
15 now. Lesnar won his collegiate national championship 16 years ago. Dominant round one, anybody's round two.
Okay, breathe. First thing I want you to do is breathe. Okay, breathe. Hey. Now, hey, trust your hands a little bit, all right? Jab, jab, cross, and then fake that shot. He's waiting for you to try to shoot, but try to walk him into the cage, all right? Try to walk him into the cage.
Too wet from here on down.
Yep.
Right. When you get in there, just re-shoot with your hips. Bring your head and your hips up. Re-shoot. Come up higher on the side. Take down forward and fight. Head him right around. Right.
Good breath now. Big breath. Big breath. Good.
That's what you want. 5 more minutes of what you want.
Yeah. So you do the work. Hey, you got it.
Don't forget our next stop on pay-per-view, Atlanta, Georgia, UFC 201. Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley. For the welterweight, Murgliata said was fight or I'll take a point away. Bring it, boys.
Well, he's cautioning Brock and he's extending his fingers. And Mark Hunt, I believe in grabbing the cage.
Yes, for sure, because he did it twice in round one. And Dan literally knocked his hand off the cage the first time, Joe.
See, this is the game that Brock doesn't want to play. Standing right in front of Mark, and Mark is going to come at him with punches that he doesn't see coming. And there's a shot. He's got the single. Can he complete it? Tremendous amount of energy he's exerting here. And he gets it.
Fourth takedown for the former champion.
He's in mount.
He's in a great position here to finish the fight. Can Mark Hunt get up?
This is a terrible place for Mark Hunt right now.
Yeah.
And this also allows Brock time to rest, control the position.
Big punches from Brock. Good defense by Mark Hunt, but Lesnar is still scoring, Joe.
Yeah, and Brock's not even trying to pass. He's holding on to that left leg of Mark Hunt, sort of clamping down on it. and using it to hold the position. He's got his legs crossed over Mark's leg. There's nothing holding him here in this position other than his choice.
Trying to get back to the full mount. In a great position of control. All right, half guard.
It looked like Jan was about to step them up.
Yeah. Or Mark Hunt might have been, at least Dan thought, might have been reaching towards that fence.
And again, Brock is holding on to that leg, Mike. It's not really like he's in half guard because Hunt's legs are completely wide open.
Hunt defending himself so far. Midway point of the third and final round.
Arm triangle. Now he's in full mount.
Don't forget, fans, we want to hear what you think. Vote by following us at UFC on Twitter.
Full mount with plenty of time to go. And Brock keeps looking for that arm triangle. He's looking for it on the left side. Oh, man. Big ground and pound from Brock. Oh. Oh, these are hard shots, Mike.
It's one tough Samoan right there. Lesnar pouring it on. Is Mark Hunt intelligently defending himself?
He's just getting the left side of his head punched in right now. And Brock's kind of holding his head in place. There's not much he can do there.
Under 90 seconds remain, all Lesnar.
And again, Brock keeps trying to push that arm to the side of his neck to secure an arm triangle or a head and arm choke.
Big punches.
And he's beating him up as he's doing this.
Doesn't take much when you're Lesnar. Miragliotta might stop the fight.
Less than a minute to go here.
Pretty much the only question now, Joe, is will he win with a finish or with a decision? Certainly trying for the finish. Utilizing the Turk that the wrestlers like. Body, body, head, his corner is saying. There it is. 20. Huge round 3 for the former heavyweight champion. And he wants to finish in style. Greg Nelson with Brock Lesnar. Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now.
The most eventful moments in the fight were here. The takedowns, the ground and pound, and you know we got to see the strong wrestling of Brock Lesnar and the toughness of Mark Hunt. But what it looks like to me and you, a decision for Brock Lesnar, and a pretty impressive victory when you consider the fact that the guy hasn't fought in 5 years, been doing pro wrestling, comes back and beats a top 10 heavyweight.
Big sense of relief, I am sure, as well, for someone as visible as Brock Lesnar. Because he was in there against one of the greatest knockout artists in combat history. A healthy Brock Lesnar fighting tonight at UFC 200. Time for our official decision. Brought to you by Metro PCS. For a piece of UFC 200 history, follow at Metro PCS and retweet to win authentic items straight from tonight's fights. Official rules at metropcs.com/UFC. Once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Brock Lesnar.
I'm here with the winner, Brock Lesnar. Brock, first of all, what does it feel like to be back? And what did it feel like to beat a top 10 heavyweight after all these years off?
Oh, man. It took me a little while just to get acclimated. Words can't describe it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Brock, this is something that you've been thinking about for so long, working towards for so long. Where is your mind at now after beating a guy like Mark Hunt, who is a big heavyweight contender? You're right in the mix with one fight.
Man, one day at a time. I'm so happy to be in here. One thing I do want to do, America, a shout out to the men in uniform that protect and serve this country. From sea to shining sea, from one white boy to all nationalities. We got to stand together, people.
Brock, congratulations and welcome back, sir. Brock Lesnar, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a different Brock. Way different Brock. Told Joe, one day at a time. One day at a time. But this is a great day. His wife, Sable, what a moment for Brock Lesnar. And as I mentioned, a sense of relief. You're one of the most dangerous individuals we have ever seen. Look at that man. Florian Gracie next to Wilmer Valderrama. If not for that man, we would not be here today. EA Sports UFC 2 delivers this look ahead to our Bantamweight Championship fight. Game Informer calls it an adrenaline rush. Get up to 50% off EA Sports UFC 2 at select retailers in-store and online. Miesha Tate has gone from living in an RV outside of the gym where she trained to UFC champion. Amanda Nunes has traveled from Bahia, Brazil to American Top Team, and tonight she can become Brazil's first female champion.
Jiu-jitsu, kickboxing.
But before we watch Miesha Tate defend her belt against Amanda Nunes, check out this preview of Kingdom only on the Audience Network.
I don't think you're ready. I'm gonna win this fight.
Did it ever occur to you that maybe what I needed was you?
I'm having a hard time controlling myself. The therapist tried to rape Mom.
I can't believe you're a fighter.
I don't like fighting my friends. Everybody's looking at me for something, like I'm supposed to supervise their lives.
And here tonight, King Creator, Byron Velasco, and the stars of the show, Matt Loria, Jonathan Tucker, and Natalie Martinez. They are having a great time here at UFC 200. And in just 3 weeks, when the UFC returns to Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, the wait will finally be over for the chosen one.